Hi everyone, my name is Kipjo Ewers, and I'm the author behind the EVO Universe. If you love stories that blend superheroes, sci-fi and fantasy, the supernatural, you're in the right place. Today I'm excited to introduce one of my most provocative and thought-provoking novels, Divided We Stand. It's available now in ebook, paperback, and hardcover formats, and I'm thrilled to share that the audiobook version will officially release in the second week of January 2025. And I couldn't be more thrilled to have the talented Casey Finnigan as the voice behind this audiobook. Casey's narration adds a whole new dimension to the story, capturing its intensity and depth while bringing the characters to life in a way that's nothing short of mesmerizing. To celebrate the audiobook release and to build excitement for the upcoming new novel in the EVO Universe, I'm giving you a special sneak peek. We'll be releasing 7 minutes of the first chapter and 8 minutes of the second chapter of Divided We Stand. These exclusive samples will give you a taste of the drama, the characters, and the post-pounding tension that fuels this incredible story. And here's the best part. Those samples will play right after this video announcement. So stick around and let Casey Finnigan's incredible narration draw you into the world of Divided We Stand.
Chapter 1. We start this story off with a question. Ever heard or read of the Tower of Babel? The Tower of Babel, Hebrew Migdal Babel, narrated in Genesis 11:1-9, is an origin story meant to explain why the world's people spoke different languages. According to the scripture passage, a united human race in the generations following the Great Flood spoke a single language and migrated eastward, coming to the land of Shinar. They agreed to build a city and a tower tall enough to reach heaven. God, observing their city and tower, confounded their speech so that they could no longer understand each other and scattered them around the world. There have been some discrepancies in the story. Some say that after the tower was built, the king at the time dared to shoot an arrow into heaven, hoping to hit God, which caused him to first destroy the tower and then change their speech so that the citizens couldn't understand each other before scattering them to the four corners of the planet. But I'm not a scholar or writing a book to teach a biblical lesson. Me mentioning this story will have a point at the end, so just remember it. Before we begin, let me just say this story you're about to read does not have a happy ending. What you're about to read is my account of the events that have taken place and how I saw them change the world and my life forever. So stop reading and get your money back if you're looking for one. If you want to know why I decided to write a book about this shit, it all came out of the pages of a journal my therapist advised me to write my thoughts in. After reading it all back, I figured it would make for a good book. The ghostwriter I hired to help me put this together agreed with me, so here it is. Anyway, a little about me. My name is Paul Quinn Lynch. I'm a 46-year-old Irish American. My dad picked Paul from one of his favorite characters in the Bible, even though I'm not a practicing Catholic, and Quinn was from my great-granduncle on my mother's side. I was born and raised in Dorchester, Boston, Massachusetts, about 4 blocks from Mark Wahlberg. No, we're not friends, even though we used to play stickball together with the rest of the neighborhood kids. I doubt he even remembers me. I'm the second eldest of 5 kids, 2 brothers and 3 sisters. My father is a retired cop due to a work-related injury, and my mom is a former post office worker. I'm also a divorcee with a son. My ex-wife is remarried. Nothing scandalous like cheating or whatnot. The love fizzled out, and we couldn't get it back no matter how hard we tried. And we did try. We also got tired of keeping the neighbors up with our arguing. And it wasn't good for our son, Kenny, to see us like that. He's 8, by the way. Kelly, my ex-wife, eventually remarried. She and her new husband live in Roxbury. They had their first kid, a girl named Penelope. Ronald, who will also be in this story, is a big-time executive for a central bank, while she's a corporate attorney. He's a good guy, eerily like me in some ways, which is weird. Kenny stays with them most of the time, except every other weekend, certain holidays, and some summers. I can honestly say Kelly and I are better friends and co-parents than we were an actual married couple. And yeah, I'm still single. I date from time to time, but nothing serious. So now you know a little about me and my background. Here's what you need to know. This story starts and ends in a bar, with me watching the news. The breaking news of the day, which was being reported on by every media news outlet worldwide, was the announcement that almost every single country on the continent of Africa, save for 2, made the unanimous decision to no longer be countries unto themselves. Instead, each country agreed to unilaterally convert itself into states, like America, merging to become the United Republic of Africa. Yeah, go back and read that paragraph a couple of times if you must. It's not going to change, but let me simplify it for you. The entire continent of Africa announced that, except for 2 countries, were now one unified nation. The 2 unlucky countries at the time that had yet to join this unification were Egypt and South Africa. How this came about will be explained in later chapters, but right now, as I am watching the details on CNN with everyone else in the pub and my best friend, you can bet your ass on one thing. We were all bugging the hell out. Now to bring some context, the news of the unification broke at 11 o'clock that morning in Boston while I was at work. I ran a fast-growing and lucrative toy production company with my childhood friend, Michael C. Benson, who was the co-owner of the company and head engineer/designer. My job was securing the IPs for the toys we could make, marketing, and all the back-office stuff to run the business. We called it Imagine That. We marketed ourselves as an alternative to hot toys with 2 exceptions. The materials we used made our toys more realistic, durable, posable, and playable. We also tackled and created the figures hot toys, and even sideshow collectibles, would not touch while matching the same affordable prices at which they sold their toys. I'm not one to brag, but let's just say we landed some deals with a couple of big-name companies within the 2 years of our inception. Trust me, all you read will also be important to the story. When the news broke, Michael was the first to fly the door open to my office, scaring me half to death. The look on his face read he was about to tell me someone had died, or was in an accident, or that we were being invaded. "Did you see this shit?" "See what?" I earnestly asked with concern and nervousness. "Polly is all over the news." Side note, outside of my family, only Michael can call me Polly. That's how close we are. "Mikey, I'm in the middle of a spreadsheet. What the—" Without another word, he stormed into my office, grabbed the remote off my desk, and flipped on MSNBC. Craig Melvin was on, covering the same breaking news that was on other channels. I could tell you that my jaw disengaged a bit,